We are back with our Sunday midweek update. And after yesterday's Bengals-centric build with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, Trey McBride, and the Chiefs' defense, we are pivoting back to our earlier core of Stafford, Puka, McCaffrey, Kittle, and the Texans' defense because ownership, matchup context, and fresh news all broke in their favor while still keeping exposure to Chase via the flex. At quarterback, we are moving from Burrow to Matthew Stafford at 7,000 with a dash rank of 100. He draws Detroit, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 21. He is projected 18 with just 6.97% ownership, averages 21 fantasy points per game, and has posted 23, 15, and 23 in his last three. The Week 15 MVP ladder from Essentially Sports has Stafford back at number 1, and ESPN's MVP Cases piece frames him as the pace car right now, which matches the steady form we are seeing. Sporting News also had Los Angeles delivering a blow to Detroit's playoff hopes earlier this season, reinforcing confidence in this matchup. The why over Burrow today is simple. Lower ownership, a favorable overall defensive matchup, and direct correlation to our top wideout. At running back, we are flipping from Derrick Henry to Christian McCaffrey at 9,000 with a dash rank of 100. He faces Tennessee, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 28. He is projected 25, sits at a surprisingly low 5.47% ownership, averages 26 per game, and has 17, 25, and 35 in his last three. He is listed questionable, so we will monitor news, but the reporting this week around Brock Purdy getting historic news tied to McCaffrey and the fantasy RB rankings that continue to slot CMC at or near the top support the ceiling and usage we need. We are paying for the combination of rushing and receiving equity and leveraging the field's hesitancy around the Q tag at modest ownership. At wide receiver, we are moving back to Puka Nacua at 8,700 with a dash rank of 100. He also gets Detroit, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 21. He is projected 21, is 20.67% owned, averages 23 per game, and just dropped 39 after 13 and 17. Multiple reports highlighted his 167 yards and 2 touchdowns in the blowout of Arizona, and stacking him with Stafford captures the clearest path to Rams' passing volume against a forgiving defense. At tight end, we are pivoting from Trey McBride to George Kittle at 5,400 with a dash rank of 100. He draws Tennessee, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 28. He is projected 14, 12.77% owned, averages 13 per game, and has 11, 11, and 25 in his last three. The chatter this week about Trey McBride's top 5 list snubbing Kittle is noise, but it underscores the competitive fire we always see from Kittle. The actual why is the favorable overall opponent rank, his spike week profile, and the correlation with our McCaffrey exposure in a game where San Francisco projects to move the ball efficiently. In the flex, we are keeping Jamar Chase at 8,100 with a dash rank of 100, but shifting him from the stack to a one-off. He faces Baltimore, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 22. He is projected 20, carries 28.43% ownership, averages 20 per game, and has 10, 21, and 6 in his last three. Yesterday, we leaned into the Burrow plus Chase correlation. Today, we keep the alpha target earner while creating leverage at quarterback by going Stafford instead. The penalty and controversy headlines around Chase are secondary to the role and matchup, and we still want that ceiling in our pool. Defense, we are moving from the Chiefs back to the Texans at 3,600 with a dash rank of 100. Houston draws Arizona, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 26. The Texans are projected 8 with 9.13% ownership and have posted 12, 2, and 15 in their last three. We are buying recent takeaway production and special teams volatility at mid-tier ownership while aligning with our main slate salary structure. Quick value talk, starting at quarterback with Shedder Sanders at 4,700, dash rank 100. He gets Chicago, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 24. He is projected 13, only 1.33% owned, averages 15 per game, and has 38, 11, and 11 in his last three. The league announced a fine for the hit to his head and neck last week, and local reporting confirmed he has been named the starter for the remainder of the season. If you want salary relief with upside and can accept volatility around a newer starter's projection, this is your pivot. At running back, Patrick Ricard at 4,000 is a pure large field dart only. Cincinnati have the absolute worst defense overall with an opponent rank of 32, but Ricard's fantasy points per game are 0 with zeros in his last three. The only reason to click is game theory and the rare goal line sequence. We would keep exposure minimal. At wide receiver, Jawan Jennings at 5,200 with a dash rank of 100 fits as a mid-tier pivot. He faces Tennessee, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 28. He is projected 12, 6.07% owned, averages 11 per game, and has 14, 12, and 9 in his last three. The off-field incident stories are background noise. The on-field story is a steady role in a favorable environment. We like him most in lineups where you're not already playing Kittle. At tight end, A.J. Barner at 3,200 with a dash rank of 100 draws Indianapolis, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 20. He is projected 9, owned at 8%, averages 8 per game, and has 6, 8, and 4 in his last three. This is a straightforward salary saver when you need to fit a premium stack. Secondary flex value, Isaiah Likely at 3,400 with a dash rank of 89 faces Cincinnati, who have the absolute worst defense overall with an opponent rank of 32. He is projected 9, 6.27% owned, averages 5 per game, and has 13, 14, and 2 in his last three. The controversy around his overturned touchdown and the league's acknowledgement of a mistake highlight how close he was to a bigger box score. The matchup and recent usage make him a viable punt. Value defense, the Colts at 2,200, dash rank 31, face Seattle, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall with an opponent rank of 11. They are projected 5 with 2.27% ownership and recent scores of 1, 5, and 8. This is a pure salary unlock in builds that need the savings at defense. To summarize our changes from yesterday, we moved from Burrow to Stafford to exploit sub-7% ownership with MVP-level form against a defense that is one of the worst overall, and we restacked Puka for correlation. We swapped Derrick Henry back to Christian McCaffrey because Tennessee's overall defensive rank is favorable. His projection leads the slate, and the news cycle backs his ceiling despite a questionable tag. We pivoted from Trey McBride to George Kittle to align with the 49ers' game environment and capture a tight end spike profile at modest ownership. We kept Jamar Chase but slid him to the flex for correlation-independent ceiling. And we returned to the Texans' defense to ride recent scoring and a comfortable mid-tier ownership profile.